We are live. We are live. We are live. Welcome to Queens Get the Money. My name is Barry Grant Jr. I am one of the hosts on this beautiful show. The other guy over there, Tom Greer. How you doing, sir?
Doing great. Excited to talk some Mets tonight.
Yes, of course. It's always good. We all got our Mets hats on, and who's making her debut on Queens Get the Money? And please get used to the face. The silent assassin is here. What's up, Nicole? How you doing?
Not that much. How are you guys?
Good. Listen, you
Yes.
are ready to go. You got your Met gear on. I love to
Yep, I'm ready.
see it. Love to see it. Tell you. We have a lot to discuss tonight. Obviously, we're gonna break down some spring training updates, what we've seen so far, the good, the bad. I'm not gonna focus on the bad just because it's spring training, but you do want to talk about some standouts and stuff like that. We're gonna talk about the Pete Alonso situation a little bit, Darryl Strawberry's comments. Also want to talk about there's a part of the fan base that's having Pete derangement syndrome, and we gotta discuss that as well. Um, you know, Juan Soto in regards to his leadership stuff, like we're gonna talk about that. Howie Rose, we'll talk about that. There's a whole bunch of stuff that we're gonna put into this show. So thank you for everybody that's here. If anybody's not here yet, when you do join the show, we'll go ahead and give you a salute as well. But where do we want to start, my team? Where do we want to start?
I say we start with the exciting stuff or the stuff that we're getting out of early spring training. I think
Yeah,
that's a good way to start. Let's start with
excited.
some positivity.
Listen, there's so much positive stuff that's coming out of Mets camp right now. Port St. Lucie is hot. Everybody's going down there. I want to go down there one year. I'm telling you
It's so
right now,
nice.
I want to go. Okay, I want to go. Wardy's down there right now. I'm jealous. I want to go down there and be able to do whatever the hell they doing. You know what I'm saying?
I agree.
Yeah, but Benge had a great game. What was it? Yesterday he had 3 hits or something like that.
Today.
Hey,
It was
today.
great. There you go. The kid looked pretty good. He had three good at bats. There was one, I think his last at bat, he had like a 10 pitch at bat. Really, really good. He looks very, very comfortable, very confident. Love the chains that he had on, right? Like there's just some swag coming out of that kid. I love it, right? Jonah Tong, he pitched as well. A lot of people are very like indecisive about his performance, but me, I don't look at it like he needed to have a perfect outing. It was more about him trying to work in his secondary pitches. So that is, we'll discuss that as well. So out of those two things, and then we'll move on to Bo Bichette and all this other stuff. Like, who impressed you more? Was it Jonah Tong showing you his secondary pitches, or was it more Carson Benge?
Nicole, you want to go first?
Sure. For me personally, I think Carson Benge, just because we haven't really seen him that much. Obviously, Tong, we had a little bit of a taste last year. And like going off what you said, like I don't necessarily expect Tong to pitch, immaculate, like strike out everybody that he's facing. I think, this is his first spring training game, so he'll ramp up and we'll see how the rest of spring training plays out.
Yeah.
But for me, like an interesting player coming into it was Carson Benge, just seeing how he was going to play. And I'm really excited to see how he progresses through spring training because I really want to see him, on that opening day roster. But we'll see how that plays out.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm kind of in lockstep. It was funny because I was like thinking about what we were like. I was thinking about the Carson Benge conversation earlier today, and the one thing that I said that I was thinking to myself was usually like defense, you can see that. Like you could see if the guy's got it. So the scout said, okay, he's probably going to be a good corner outfielder. Cool, I'll take that. I'll take your word for that. The bat was. I know he hit really well in the minors last year, but like that transition from the minors to the majors is so big. I was a little nervous. Like if this guy's going to crack the opening day roster, he's going to have to prove like right away that he can handle major league pitching. And the few times that I did see him, as a not a coach at all, like to me his swing looked a little long. Like I was like he might get eaten alive by guys that are throwing like 99, 98. And then he proceeds to go out and have a 3-hit game. And like you mentioned earlier, that 10 pitch at bat, like I am really liking what I'm seeing from Carson Benge. And a part of me still, I know last show I was saying that he's like one of the X factors, like one of the guys I'm looking for to break camp. I don't know. I'm starting to kind of waver and think that the Mets are going to break camp with Mike Tauchman or somebody else to platoon
Talk
right
to him.
field.
Yeah.
And then when they feel like he's fully developed and Tauchman hits a downswing, Benge will just get called up, early on in the season. Like I don't know if I'm ready to say yet that he's going to be cracking the opening day roster, but it was some good things to see. And Jonah Tong, I'm not worried. Like,
Yeah.
Jonah Tong, the dude looks like he's 13 years old. He's definitely still needs some time to develop. So let him work it out in spring training. He's not making the major league roster. He'll pitch in AAA, and then he'll come up when we need him.
Yeah, absolutely. I think everything that you guys said just now was kind of spot on, just because it's more about, seeing Benge. We've seen Jonah Tong for a full year in the minors, right? Like, if you are a minor league nut, you will go ahead and see all that Jonah Tong delivered last year, right? He was one of the best pitchers in the minor leagues in all of baseball. Even, he had a couple of stints up here that he pitched pretty well, right? But this is a guy who's dominated with 2 pitches. And for me, I was more fascinated with Jonah Tong because I wanted to see the secondary pitches. I wanted to see what they looked like. I understand what the fastball looks like. I understand what, the changeup looks like. But the fact that he's now putting in a cutter, he's now putting in a slider. I don't know how effective or how much he's going to use the slider, but him having that and that type of delivery that he does have, he's going to have to work that out. But that cutter is going to be a dangerous weapon for him if he can be able to get the grip down, if he can be able to get confidence with that pitch. Having more than just 2 pitches and adding a cutter, that's what I want to see. Like, in regards to a guy like Carson Benge, there's so much that you can be able to kind of like be hopeful for and positive for a young guy, especially a young position guy. It's the defense. Because if your bat is slow and you can be able to defend, you can find your place on the team, right? Mm-hmm. The offense will come. But a guy like Jonah Tong, if he can be able to deliver and show the staff, hey, listen, I've been developing this pitch. We've been working on this thing. Now it's like, okay, can he be a back-end starter option? Can he be somebody that gets called up, sometime in May and be able to make a big difference for this rotation? Because that, to me, is going to be a lot more impactful than a Carson Benge in a lineup that's pretty damn good at this point, right? So That's where I see, like, I want to see where he is with those secondary pitches. Both are great young prospects, but I just wanted to see Jonah Tong a lot more than Carson Benge. Because for me, Carson Benge he's kind of like in that David Wright mindset for me, where it's like, I heard all of these stories about David Wright, and I didn't necessarily need to see him all the time in the minors until he came up and was like, okay, that's the guy that everybody's talking about. I see the same thing with Carson Benge. I've heard nothing but positive things. I see him in his uniform. I see him at bat. I see the at bats, and I'm just like, okay, now I see. Now I understand why everybody's in love with this kid. Like, you know what I'm saying? So because of that, now I know that he's going to be good. Jonah Tong, I want to see those progressions being put forward.
I think my only issue is, like, I have a really hard time of getting super excited to see pitchers in spring. Like, I'm excited to see McLean pitch in spring training just because we haven't seen him for a while. But I have a hard time getting excited about pitchers in spring training because I know that they're out there working on new pitches, trying new, like, they're not out there trying to win a baseball game. They're out there trying to test some of their other pitches. So like Tom got lit up today. Right. I'm not worried about that because I know he's working on other pitches. Like, that's part of the process, like trying to make guys miss with those secondary pitches. So if he hasn't thrown them a lot and he's just working on it, he's going to get shelled. But it's a spring training game, so you don't care. The Benge thing, like, I really feel like I need to see Carson Benge perform because I've mentioned this on this show so many times already. David Wright, prospect, awesome. Pete Alonso coming up, prospect, awesome. Like, we do have a few good prospects that we've had in position players. We've had a lot of guys that were highly touted that flamed out immediately. Last thing's millage. Like I keep saying, last thing's millage.
As much shots as you throw at last thing's millage.
I love last things. The dude hits it. It was a home run. He hits like his first home run. He's going high-fiving the people. down like the third baseline. Like I loved Lastings Millage. I wanted him to be the truth.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, he wasn't. Fernando Martinez. You know what I mean?
Oh my goodness! Do you remember the hype around Fernando Martinez?
I do. I very much do.
Please, that was
Or
pretty.
Danny Valdespin. He is the man right now.
Oh my goodness!
We don't want Carson Benge to be that. So like, I want to see him be able to contend with major league starting pitching.
Nah, it's fair. It's definitely fair. It's definitely fair. Like I don't disagree with anybody's point. Like we all have our own points, which is good. It's just it's really good to be able to have some young guys, some young prospects that we can actually look forward to seeing and developing, right? Rather than these old ass dudes that we be having on this team. Like I'm telling you, Nicole will tell you, I couldn't stand Max Scherzer. I couldn't stand him. I still don't like him. I still don't. Like him. He's the ops. Okay, didn't like it one bit. So the fact that we have such great young pitchers, I am just over the moon in regards to what I'm seeing from those. What about some other guys that you've seen in spring training? Who has stuck out to you the most? I will say my guy, the kid Lambert. That kid has gas.
Mm-hmm.
And that's listen, we talked about this for so many different pods, right, Tom? Like we are so void of guys that just throw steam, right? And when you got a guy like that literally just throws gas, like his fastball has so much movement on it that there's no way that I can't see him in the bullpen as soon as the season starts.
Oh,
you gotta have him in there. Him and Dylan Ross have to be in there, right? Because they just throw gas. Like he impressed the hell out of me. You know what I'm saying? So I would love to know what you guys are thinking about in regards to other prospects that kind of caught your eye for whatever reason.
No, I agree with you. Especially too, like I don't know if you remember, we have like a good bullpen, but I always felt like maybe we need one more guy.
Yeah.
And seeing him, I'm like, oh wow, like this could be the guy that that extra piece that we need. Yeah. And also too, like a name that was not really too familiar with just kind of came out and like, oh, like who, like all eyes on him, So yeah, I'm really interested to see how he progresses throughout the rest of spring training.
Absolutely.
I have to say, I really liked what I saw out of AJ Ewing.
Oh man, he's fast.
He is a absolute speed demon, which I feel like is just really. I just love a really fast and can play anywhere in the outfield kind of fielder. So I'm hoping that we can see the bat kind of pick up a little bit. And I don't know. I think I miss Tobias Myers pitched so far in spring.
Yeah,
right?
He pitched.
Yeah, I didn't catch all of his numbers, but like the more and more I thought about it, I'm really excited for Tobias Myers because I really feel like this dude can be a younger, hungrier version of Seth Lugo.
I was just going to say that. Yep.
Well, like if we need him to come out of the bullpen along relief, he can come out of the bullpen along relief. If we need him to spot start, he'll spot start. Worst doomsday scenario, we need some guy to go get some outs in the ninth. He can do that.
He can
you know what I mean? So like he's a guy that's pitched in the playoffs, and I am like the more and more I thought about it, I'm like, wow, Tobias Myers might be like a steal from that that trade with Milwaukee, especially because he's under team control. So like, and again, if we saw nothing from the Mets last year, is like pitching depth is a premium. Like they need pitching depth. So that kind of excites me a little bit.
Absolutely. Like there's so much good young talent on this team that is just super impressive.
Mm-hmm.
Any veteran guys that are impressing you? Because out there, listen, I'm just gonna go ahead and say it right now. Talk to him, Mike Togman. Put him on the team right now. Okay, the man had his first at bat and smacked the 3-run home. Uh-huh. That's what I'm talking about because that's what Mike Togman does. Yeah. This is a guy that you need on your bench because it doesn't matter when he plays, how often he plays. He's always going to have the same mindset. He's a guy that is a guaranteed 750, 775 OPS. This is a guy that gets on base and he has power and he plays a pretty damn good outfield. So why not have? I think it's a foregone conclusion. He's on the team. He's on the team. And if he's not on the team, I'm going to be very upset. Don't put him in don't put him in AAA. Put him on the bench. I need me some talk to him. All right? Talk to him, Talkman. That's what I need.
Yeah, like yesterday, I'm sitting here like working on my computer, and I just had the Met game on the back, and I'm like, oh, like this is his first at bat. I gotta watch this, and just whack over the wall. Like, okay, I was gonna text you too and be like, oh, I bet you're happy about that.
You know what I would have
yeah.
told you had you texted me. Talk to him. That's my guy, man.
No, I'm with you. I think he's got to make the. I think he's got. I think he did an interview where he said that like David Stearns told him that this is like a true like we're gonna see if this works out kind of thing, like a prove it kind of deal. But no, I agree with you. I think he definitely should make the team, assuming he still hits. But I think if he does make the team, it's going to be at the expense of Carson Benge because I don't know.
So?
Yeah, I think so. I think it'll be. Maybe. No, you might be right. No, you might be right. I do like the idea of having a professional, like just a professional guy that you like. If they do both make the team, if Ben struggles, you can go throw him out in right field, and he'll get you a few hits.
And a veteran type of presence too, because if you got a guy like Talkman on the bench, it helps a Carson Benge be a lot better. I'm not saying that MJ Melendez can't do that too, but Talkman has been there. He's been a guy that I never forget when the Yankees had that injury-riddled season and they had no choice but to play Talkman. Man, he was great. He was great. So and even with the Chicago last year, I think he batted like 260 something, like 9 home runs, 40 something. This is a guy that produces. And if you're looking for a bat that's at the bottom half of your lineup, somebody that can be able to drive and runs, Mike Talkman has always been a guy to do that. So
and if it's between him and Melendez, if it's between him and Melendez, like I like him, I like it, I like the flyer on him, but Melendez is hitting on the interstate. Talkman's at least going to hit like 260. So you're right.
You got power,
I would rather that.
But give me Talkman. Give me Talkman. Yeah, definitely. Let's go ahead and go switch gears and talk about Bo Bichette in regards to his comfortability, transition to third base. Last week, everybody was talking about, oh, look at the throw that he made. Not even realizing that the damn first baseman didn't even catch the damn ball. So it made the throw look worse, right? But the throw wasn't terrible. It was a little off. That was his first real action. It's just like, come on, I don't understand why there's this Met hate out there that's just universal. What the hell do we do to anybody? We're not winners. We don't do anything. You would think that we're the Dodgers, how much like winning all the time and everybody hates us. How do you hate us out the jump and we don't even do nothing? How do you go ahead and just go hate on Bo Bichette for one damn play and not even give him a shot? And it's all over the damn internet. I can't. And sometimes, trust me, it be your own. It be the same Met fans that be out here doing this nonsense. So for me, it was just like, all right, like I'm not even gonna comment on this. I'm not even gonna go ahead and give this no smoke. But I'm just going to wait and see how comfortable he does get. And, man, that barehanded grab, you know who it reminded me of? Robin Ventura, boy. All the time at third base to make it look routine. I love what I saw from Bo Bichette. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I agree. Especially after that play, there was the second game of spring training, and also too, he's learning a new position. This is spring training where you're there to learn and get better, especially with the new position. And, I'm not worried what 1 ounce. Like, he just has to be adequate enough. And I'm sure any error he potentially makes in the regular season, he's going to, return with the bat. So, it's going to cover up that way. So I'm not worried at all.
Yeah. I'm totally with you. If you're going to make mistakes, make them in spring. Don't make them in the regular season. But to answer your question, like why we get so much hate, it's because we're the Mets. We play in New York. You're always we were the ones peacocking when we got Steve Cohen. Like, I understand why people hate Mets fans. I get it. We're always gonna have to. LOL Mets is a thing. We're never gonna eliminate that unless we start actually winning something. So that's never gonna go anywhere. So you knew that the second Bo Bichette botches one ball, oh my God, here come LOL Mets again. But like, it's spring training. Again, like Nicole said, the dude's learning a new position. Like, it's going to take some time to get used to it. And I'm sure he's going to be fine. He's not the first guy to transition to third base. And I'm sorry, there's no way his defense is going to be worse than Mark Vientos at third. You can't tell me that.
Facts. Ain't nobody worse than 2 left feet Vientos.
Yeah. Right? He doesn't look bad at first, though. He doesn't look terrible.
That much. Great. Yeah. You got to move that much. So
play to your strengths. You play to your strengths.
Listen, I am not gonna give Mark Vientos any hell in spring training. I'm gonna keep my mouth shut. I'm gonna keep my mouth shut because I want to be positive. I want to make sure that he ends up getting that confidence back. Because if we can be able to use the bat, we can use the bat. You know what I'm saying? Like if he can be able to get back.
2024 happened.
Yeah. That's all I want to see. I'm gonna remain positive until I see it.
Give him a reason not to. Until he gives you a reason not to.
Okay, and I'll let him have it. I am not going to be the one on this show to have the level head. That'll be Tom, and that'll be a silent assassin. I don't do that. Okay, I do not do that. I go off the rails, and you guys got to reel me back in. That's the way it happens. Now, here's a question. Brett Beatty. If Brett Beatty's healthy, he becomes super utility, correct?
I think so.
Probably.
Or is he one hell of a trade asset?
Both.
I don't know. I'm like, I just don't know. I don't know what you're getting back for Brett Beatty because like we have flashes of Beatty being a good player, but we also have flashes of him being like super inconsistent. So like, I don't know what we're gonna get from him. That's actually honestly until you mentioned Brett Beatty, because I feel like I haven't seen him a lot in spring. I totally forgot. I'm like,
I think he's still banged up with the was it the hammy?
Yeah. So I don't know. Like, I could see him playing right. Like that might throw a little bit of a problem into Mike Tauchman making the team if they really want Brett Beatty to be a right fielder.
Well, not necessarily. Maybe not because if they're going to use him,
Benge makes the team.
Yeah, right. Even if Benge makes the team, I think they're still going to use Beatty as a super utility. I think he's going to be right field, third base, a little bit of second, right? He's taking first base reps, right? So he's going to be all over the diamond a little bit, just based on where they're going to need him, right? So it may not affect. It's just every time I think about Brett Beatty, I want to think positive, but it's just like, man, like you really don't have a secure place on this team.
Well, he's got to earn that though, because I've seen some good flashes from Brett, but I need to see more.
Yeah. Armand is here. What's up, Armand? Armand says Beatty might get a lot of play at first base with Vientos Polanco. Yeah, 100%. I think that might be the most ideal place to play him, especially if you want to give Benge more opportunities and right and give my man Talkman the spot. It may definitely be first base for Beatty because the thing is with Beatty is that he's so athletic. And his instincts are so good defensively that I think he could end up being a very good first baseman just because he does have that range. He does have quick instincts to his right and his left, right? So he can be able to really transition there very well. And if he can be able to give us any resemblance of what he did last year with that bat, it's pretty good. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like he was not a bad player for the Mets last year. So I would rather see him play out. And listen, if teams start calling for Brett Beatty, then that's a good thing, and you can see what you can be able to get out of that come deadline. But if he can be able to stick around and be that super utility, then every team needs that. I think kids need to play more positions. Like, you know what I mean? Like you come up. If you're a shortstop, you should learn how to play third. You should learn how to play first. You should learn how to play second because it gives you a better opportunity to be able to crack the bigs and be able to stick around rather than you just being, hey, I'm just this. I'm just this. I can be able to play the corner outfields. How about you be more like a Cody Bellinger? Play the outfields and you can be able to play first base. You have more position flexibility to be able to be more of an asset to your baseball team. That I just believe that every kid coming up should be doing that. And every organization should take a very athletic kid and be able to explore them in different positions because you never know what position is going to be better than the other, or you can just be able to have him as this super utility guy going forward until he can be able to lock in one position or just be your super utility guy going forward for your team, right? So I think more organizations need to do that. And I think we're starting to see that a lot more within the Mets organization, that they're really, really experimenting with other positions. And there's nothing wrong with that. I've heard criticisms like, oh, well, you guys have too many players that don't have positions. Who cares? Like you can be able to figure out if a guy can be able to be serviceable at a spot when you have good infielders that we do have, right? You know, we have pretty sure infielders when everybody's healthy. So, you know, I'm really, really happy about what we're seeing out of camp right now. So I'm just excited. I'm excited to talk about baseball. I'm excited about every damn thing the Mets are doing right now. Love it, love it, love it. Let's talk about your man, Howie Rose. You are not happy with Howie Rose right now. Is it Howie Rose or is it more of the Mets? Like what is the situation here?
No, I think it's more Howie, because Howie has had some health issues over the years, and he's cutting back his road games significantly this year. And he said he'll be back for the playoffs should the Mets make the playoffs. But it's just, for me personally, it's just sad. Like Howie Rose, I mean, I know we're all Mets fans, so we listen to him on the radio all the time. But for me, like Howie Rose was like the voice of summer, like the voice of spring, like the dude. Like I hear Howie's voice, and it brings me back to like car rides back from baseball games with my dad, like little league games with my dad. Like Howie Rose is just like, I love Gary, Keith, and Ron, but Howie Rose is my Mets guy. Like he's one of my broadcasting heroes. So like to hear that he's going to do less road games or less games on the radio kind of makes me a little sad. But you know. It's just, honestly, I got to say, like, I've wanted the Mets to win the World Series so much for me, for us fans, for my family and stuff like that. I really want the Mets to win the World Series for Howie, because that dude has had to broadcast some garbage baseball and make it interesting. That man deserves to broadcast, because he's our guy. Like, when the playoffs come and our national broadcasters are gone and you don't get the emotion of Gary, Keith, and Ron, Howie's our guy. He's us. He's us in the booth calling a Met game. So like, it makes me sad. Like I freaking love Howie Rose to death. And you know, it just marks that the end is coming, and we're gonna have to deal with some new voices in the booth.
Silent Assassin, what do you think about Howie Rose?
Yeah, I agree. It's definitely gonna be, you know, difficult and like a weird transition not to hear him. You know, just I know it's like bittersweet, but even just that Pete Alonso call just rings all the time in my head.
Oh, I cry, tear up.
Yeah. So even like growing up at Met games, like obviously when they got blown out in the 6th, 7th inning, I was like, all right, we're gonna beat traffic, let's just go. But then the second we hit the car, Howie's on the radio. Right. You know, he's not caring about the game. He just wants to hear, you know, Howie you know, call the game. So yeah, it's definitely gonna stink. And definitely during the playoffs when we don't have, you know, Gary, Keith, and Ron in the booth calling the games, then, you know, Howie's there like playing the radio in the background, whatever it is, have the TV on silent. But yeah, it's gonna suck. But you know,
luckily Keith Rad and Pat McCarthy they are good. They if the Mets do anything well, it's pick a broadcasting team, because they're very good.
Yeah, definitely. Like for me, I've always said that baseball has always been a radio sport.
Oh, yeah.
Baseball, more than any other sport, when you find a guy that can be able to encapsulate what he's seeing and translate that back to you to make you feel like you're right there in the ballpark, you're right there in the batter's box, you're right there behind the pitcher in the diamond, right? Howie Rose is the antithesis of that. Like, he is a guy that knows how to frame things and be able to like have you at the edge of your seat, like, what the hell is going to happen now, right? Like, that is a lost art, and Howie Rose is one of those guys, right? Like, he's one of the last Mohicans when you talk about guys that can be able to do that. So, although, you know, the games are starting to be less as the years go on because he is showing his age, we're showing our ages as well. Like, you know, we still have him around. So we just, however many games he's going to go ahead and broke, let's just go ahead and enjoy that and just enjoy all of the memories that he's given us and all the memories that he might continue to give us as long as the Mets are a good team and they're going ahead. You know, they're going to go deep into the playoffs. So, you know, we'll see what happens.
I agree.
Yeah. But we love Howie, man.
I freaking love Howie, man.
He's the best.
He's the absolute man. He just is And I've never met him, but I've heard nothing but like great things. He's just
Yeah.
a gem of a human, so that just makes me feel better.
Yeah, no, definitely.
Yeah. My brother actually, he golfs a lot, and then one day he's out golfing, and then just in like the front of, he's like, he got like starstruck, and it was Howie, and he's like, I don't even know if I should go up to him. He was just so nervous, but then he did and said hi and whatnot. He didn't even want to ask for a picture, but he was just like starstruck. I remember him blowing up everyone's phone. He's like, I just met Howie, like,
Yeah.
Oh,
the
that's so
greatest moment of
cool.
my life. Yeah.
So he's a
Yeah.
superstar, man. And Howie, like you said, he's so down to earth. He's just one of us. He's just a regular person, man.
Talk to him about the Beatles. He'll probably love you.
Right. So let's go ahead and transition into what I've seen and I've really, really loved is the leadership of Juan Soto in camp.
Mhm.
Let's go ahead and talk about it. He's put, he's taken Luis Robert under his arm, like they're training together. He's getting him acclimated. That's another guy that's looking really, really good too. But him just being more comfortable in that role, him, high-fiving guys and just looking so excited to be at camp. Not saying that he wasn't excited last year, because he was, right? But there's just a different feeling and a different vibe now, just because it's like he understands the responsibility that he has now, being literally the face of the franchise. And, when you had other people on the team, you don't necessarily want to step on anybody's toes, right? Now he feels the need to be able to be more in the forefront. And I just love to see that evolution from a guy that is going to be here for 15 years, right? So what are your thoughts about that, guys, in regards to just, how he's moving, his impact, how camp just feels a lot lighter this year. It felt very heavy last season. It feels a lot lighter. And I think Juan Soto has a lot to do with that.
Yeah, I agree. Like, even seeing the first video of him just like walking into the building, and he just seems a lot lighter
Yeah.
and happier. Also too, he's not coming off the first year of his contract where he's has to kind of show that he's worth all that money, even though he played ridiculous last year. And him coming in and saying, like, let's just have fun, let's just play baseball. Last year when Mendoza's calling it a corporate clubhouse, I think with those guys leaving the team, I think he's more comfortable potentially, if, like you said, him being the face of the team, and that past generation of the team is now gone. Now you just obviously have Lindor as kind of the only person that was left. I think it's just a lot more comfortable for him to kind of be like, okay, this is my team, this is how we're going to do things. And both him and Lindor seem to be on the same page, both like, let's just play baseball, let's just have fun, we're not going to care about all the little stupid things that kind of ruined our season last year. And I did like his little, I'm coming for Shohei Ohtani, I'm coming for the MVP. So, I'm ready for that, definitely.
Agree. I love it. I love that we're going into year 2 of this contract, and Juan Soto's like actually showing like a personality.
Yeah.
Because it's like, granted, he wasn't. This is his like 3rd year in New York, but like, he's going over to the Mets, who made a really shocking run the year before. He's the anointed like savior. Like, okay, you're the guy that's going to put this team over the top. And not to say that he can't, do something like that, because he is a really great player. Now it's year 2. He realized, okay, this is my home for the next like 15 years. I'm gonna make it my own. I'm finally comfortable. Let's go. And again, it's also really easy for him because the Mets are coming off of an embarrassing season. There's really you can only go up from there. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So it makes me really happy to see that he's like finally settling in and getting comfortable, because Barry, you're right. Like, it was so, I don't know how to, it was probably like the weirdest year coming off of 2024. 2024 was so exciting.
Yeah.
And you just had that weird just malaise over the whole team.
It had the same heaviness, Tom, as 2023. It was very weird. Like, you were excited coming off the off season, but there was just something just was weird, man. And you had these 2 years that felt like that at the start of it, and look how they both turned out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I like that he's playing, and I like how comfortable he looks in left field. Like
Yes.
I don't know why they didn't even think. I mean, I guess it's because of Nimmo, and they might have been worried about Nimmo tracking balls in right field. But like, I don't know why they didn't think about this sooner, because he looks like he looks confident in left field. And like, granted, I'm sure there might be some flubs here and there, but you know, make the dude that's going to be here the longest the most comfortable possible. Give Juan Soto every tool, every opportunity to be the Juan Soto that we're expecting, and it looks like we're kind of getting that this year.
Yeah, I think you know what you saw last year was just Juan Soto just trying to fit in, right? So you know, like that Manny was just like, hey, listen, you know, you good with right? Yeah, I'll play right. It's fine. I don't want to touch. I don't want to step on Nimmo's toes. Let him stay out there. But you know, he's played he's played a significant amount of time in left field in his career, right?
Yeah.
So he's more than comfortable in left field. So you know what we're seeing is gonna be an easy transition for him to be able to do what he needs to do, understand the angles, know how much time he has to get the balls. Like he understands the actual conditions out there in left field. So but yeah, Armand said it great. He looks so relaxed. They all do, right? Everybody like, and I think that's a testament to Soto, but it's also a testament to guys like Freddie Peralta, right? Like Freddie Peralta just brings so much joy every time you see him. He's laughing. He reminds me of Lindor, right? Anytime you see Lindor's always smiling. He's always doing something to be like, yeah, I like that guy. Like, you know what I mean? Like, he doesn't even have to be playing baseball. Just sit there and just be Lindor, right? Like, it's nice to know that you have guys on this team that they feel like they believe the team, right? Like they're just happy. Like Jonah Tong is like that. Every time you see him, there's just a joy that the kid has, right? Juan Soto, Lindor, Peralta, Polanco. You seeing, like Alvarez. Like there's so many people that they just look like they're just so relaxed and they're ready to have a very, very big, impactful season. And that's what I'm talking about. I feel so much different about this season than I did last season. You know, all me and Nicole talked about last year was the heaviness of it. It's like we don't know. We can't put our finger on it, but it just doesn't feel right. Like something is just off. You know what I mean? And we never had a single conversation about that going into this spring training. Like it just feels different.
Yeah, even like last year, we were just like kind of waiting for like, oh, maybe it's gonna happen now. Maybe it's gonna have to happen now, where everyone's just comfortable, and just never did.
Yep.
But yeah, like even like I was telling you, like the second Freddie Peralta's, announced to the Mets, he's out there. He's like, I wanted to be here forever. Blah 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 blah. I love New York. Always, he said, always smiling. So just even that initially just made me feel good. But I've been seeing everyone together at first, but now like everything's coming together, and it gets me really, really excited for this season. So
absolutely. We gotta somebody in here. Who is that, John?
that is my girlfriend Kim. Hello,
there you
hello.
Go.
I knew it. I forgot to tell her when we were going live. I got so rushed to get upstairs so I could get on. I forgot to tell her we were actually going live.
You were tripping over yourself to come.
I was.
Listen, I love the fact that you're on time. Okay, I love it. That's great.
I'm a little stickler for it, but what can I say?
That's all good, man.
But no, you know what I think also kind of helps this year is like I don't know if we all are necessarily thinking about it. Like last year, while the Mets did have up until June, the rotation actually wasn't too bad.
Yeah.
Going into last year, I was kind of thinking like, is Stearns going to be able to catch lightning in a bottle twice with a patchwork rotation? Right. This year, we kind of get to have a little bit more confidence because Freddie Peralta, really good pitcher. We're assuming, and I'm willing to assume the best in the Nolan McLean situation. Like, I don't even want to entertain any of the negative stuff. Like, Nolan McLean, solid too, looks like. And now that patchwork towards the back end of the rotation, I can get a little bit more on board with. So now it's like, okay, cool. It looks like we got some pitch and depth. We got some guys at the top of the rotation that can really do it. I'm not playing with a bunch of maybes, which a lot of last year was a lot of maybes.
Yeah.
Now this year, coupled with the guys looking a lot more loose, it gives you a little more reason to be excited. I am still a little concerned in the power department. That does still make me a little nervous, but I'm willing to see how the rest of this is going to shake out. You know what I mean? Because I do still subscribe to the fact that I think this team's going to have to hit a little bit more home runs, and I don't fully know where all of that is coming from. You know what I mean?
I mean, that's fair. Let's go ahead and just go into that then. I mean, you know, we talked a little bit about Bichette. We know how good that guy is with runners in scoring position. Jorge Polanco is not as good, but pretty good, right? Like, this is a guy that hit 26 home runs last year. So if we're talking about production out of the other guys in the lineup, can we say that Polanco is going to hit 26 this year? I'm not sure. I mean, he did this in Seattle last year. When you talk about Yellowstone Park to be able to hit anything, right? Like, our park is a lot smaller than that. So if he can be able to have a very good year with Seattle, I'm not saying that he hit all of his home runs in Seattle, but the fact that he's a very proven hitter. He's a very good proven hitter. I believe that he can be able to hit 20 plus. So if you're going to pencil in 20 plus there, let's go ahead and talk about Luis Robert. Luis Robert had 2 down seasons. This guy has too much talent and too much power to go ahead and hit 14 home runs in a season, to go ahead and hit 8. He is going to be somebody that's going to be a 20-plus guy. Am I going to say that he's going to get back to 2023 Luis Robert and hit 38 home runs? I'm not saying that. But can he run into 25? Absolutely, he can run into 25, right? So if you're talking, so that's now, you're now talking about 51 home runs potentially, right? You got now Francisco Alvarez, who's completely healed from the hamate bone injury, right? He's lost weight. He looks very good. I believe that we can be able to get 20 home runs out of Alvarez if he stays healthy, because no injuries. We're just talking about, we're not talking about injuries. We're just talking about straight up. You can be able to get power there. So that's 3 guys at the bottom of your lineup, somewhat, that you're getting power from that we did not have last year. So yeah, you're taking out a guy that hit 38 home runs last year. Yeah, we understand that Nimmo hit some home runs, but you're now replacing that with more balance at the bottom of the lineup. So it may end up we may end up hitting more home runs this year than we actually hit last year, just because of the balance of the lineup. That's how I'm looking at it.
Yeah, I could see that. I guess I'm just still a little like we've talked before. Like one of the big like names, or the big guys that are going to have to contribute, is Alvarez. I am still a little concerned with Alvarez just because like he has been so streaky. Like the guy that we were promised when he was coming up, we have not fully seen yet.
Not since his rookie season when he
exactly. So like I need to see that to be more comfortable. Armand mentioned that the power comes from Vientos, Alvi, and Robert.
Yeah.
I agree with you, but I really need to see Mark Vientos be 2024 Mark Vientos and not 2025 Mark Vientos. I need to see Alvi be Alvi from his rookie year, which is a couple of years ago. And Robert, I do think coming to a situation where you're expected to win, like coming to the Mets outside of being in baseball purgatory in Chicago, I think that's going to help. He's buddies with Soto. I think that's going to help. He's nuking balls in batting practice. So I think that is going to help. But again, I gotta see it.
And it's fair. It's a fair criticism to have some type of hesitancy to say, well, I can't. You have to see it, and that's fair because we haven't seen it out of Alvarez. The last couple of seasons, he's been injured. He's been very inconsistent. But if he's healthy, him going back to his old mechanics, I can't see how this guy can't hit 20 home runs. True. Just because
have to.
There's gargantuan power in that short frame of his, right? So I can only see that being a positive thing. Kim had a question here. What's one thing that would make the season a success for you, no matter what the record is? Good question. Here's the thing for me. What would make the season a success for me personally as a fan is them having fun. That's what I want to see. I don't want to see the stiff locker room or the stiff clubhouse that we saw last time, because here's the thing. I'll give you my particular opinion about 2024. Nicole will vouch for this. I told her the entire year I have no expectations. I don't know what's going to happen. We have a hodgepodge of a team. I'd have no idea what the hell's going on, right? But as long as we can be able to have a nice mix of young players and vets that can be able to just make things look a lot livelier and they play with some heart, I can accept that, right? Because you're still in a rebuilding year. You're not expecting much. for me, I am expecting much out of this team, but I want them to have fun because that I'm gonna be honest with you. Last season was probably one of the worst teams that I saw just from a fun standpoint.
Yeah.
I didn't like the way they looked. Even if they won 190 games, it wouldn't sit well with me because I didn't like the team. I didn't like the makeup of the team. I didn't like the fact that we went from oh my God Mets to whatever stupid ass celebration they had last year. It just did not feel good being a Mets fan last year. You support the team. I want them to have more fun. We understand that it's a win-win business. You want to see them succeed, but I want them to have fun. That's my thing.
Agreed.
Yeah, that's my thing too, but I feel like we have a lot of star power names on the team, but I'm not giving myself expectations again. Just because we're talking about that potential, like, all these pieces might not work. Like Alvarez might not hit, Vientos might not hit, and we need them to hit. Same with the rotation, like those potential depth pieces might not work.
Yeah.
And, like we have Lindor, we have Soto, we have Bichette, we have Peralta. Those are all all-star, caliber, MVP names, but I don't know. I don't want to get my hopes up again. I just want to see it play out, let them have fun. And, that's my thing.
Yeah, because the thing is, if we have fun, go ahead, Tommy. Go ahead.
No, it's okay. I didn't want to cut you off. I just I agree with the both of you. I will consider. I guess deep down I will, as long as we're having fun watching the Mets and this is a fun baseball season, I will consider it a success. But if I'm being honest with myself, I'm not expecting them to make it or win the World Series.
Right.
But for me to consider this season a success, coming off of losing a lot of core players, that I'm okay. I'm okay with backing away from them. We didn't win anything with them. I'm totally okay. I can subscribe to that. I need to see the Mets make the playoffs, and I need to see them be competitive. Like I need to see them.
I love that.
I need to see them. I want to say I need to see them make it to the NLCS and make it a competitive NLCS and not get dog walked like they did by the Dodgers in 2024.
Yeah.
To be a success for me, just because like last year was one of the most embarrassing seasons that we've ever seen. They made a lot of moves to reshape this team and tell me that this team is better than last year's team.
Yeah.
I need to now see that. I need to see that happen. We don't need to put World Series mandates on anything.
Yeah.
But they definitely have to make the playoffs. I will not be happy if we're sitting here at the end of the season and we're having a similar conversation what we did last year. They have to make the playoffs, and they have to not be one and done in the playoffs.
Listen, I like everything that you said there. That's fair. Like coming off that colossal collapse, you definitely need to see them in the playoffs. But if they are one of those teams that are hanging around 500, towards the middle of the season or, heading into the trade deadline, but we see some enthusiasm and some confidence that they know that they can be able to get over the hump. For me, I'm just going to be like, yeah, okay, I can believe that. Because the thing is with me, Tom, I'll be honest with you. Every time I heard any Met talk last year, I didn't fucking believe them at all.
Yeah, no, I agree.
I did not believe them because of what the body language told me, right? If the body language is positive and the results are not there right away, we as Met fans, we understand that sometimes magic happens quickly for us. We'll go ahead and be like this for the majority of the season, and then you hit a spike, right? We saw that in what was it, 2015? Like we saw these things happen.
24.
Yeah, 2024. So I'm used to that being a Mets fan. That's what I'm saying. Whenever the joy is there, positive results follow with the Mets. And that's how I look at things. When it's not there, it doesn't happen. And that's what I've seen.
I wholeheartedly agree with you. It's just that it needs, for me, like it does need to translate to wins on the field.
Yeah.
Like they could be having all the fun in the world. And if they're a 500 baseball team come the trade deadline and we don't know if they're going to be buyers and sellers, I'm telling you, it's not going to feel that fun.
Yeah.
It's genuinely not going to feel that fun. Barry, I wish we could go in time and ask you from when the Pete Alonso, Edwin Diaz stuff happened, ask you if you would feel that exact way going into next year. Ask if you're like, hey, if we were toiling around at 500, but this team's having fun, would you be having a good time? And I know you would say hell no.
Listen,
know you would say
I don't
hell
know.
no.
I don't know. I'm just saying that it wasn't fun for me last year.
No, of course not.
I want to have fun, damn it, because even when we go to the ballpark as a trio, we're gonna go out there and go have fun. Damn it.
Oh, hell yeah.
That's where we go. We're not gonna be in the chair mad. No. We're gonna be drinking some juice and we're gonna be cheering for these Mets. That's
hell
what
yeah.
we're doing. So that's me. That's the vibe that I want from my team. That's the vibe that I want from my team right here on Queens Get the Money. That's what I want from the entire organization. Let's have fun and let's have a big ass party for the summer. That's all I care about. Kim says, who on the roster feels like they have something to prove more than anyone else? I have my hand up, and I got one name. That's it. Mark Vientos. If you don't produce, this is the last negative thing that I'm going to say about Mark Vientos. If you don't produce, I'm telling you right now, the aliens are going to come for you, and they're going to send you cards. That's what they're gonna do. Okay, that's what we're waiting for. We're waiting for the files to be released from the government. We are waiting to see where they're going to send you. Because if you don't have a good season, that's exactly where you're going. So Mark Vientos has a lot to prove this year.
Nicole, you got one?
Yeah, I second that. But also too, we talked about Alvarez. He's been this top prospect. His whole minor league career. He's come up, only had one good season. So I think it's due time because, if he's not working out, like when do the Mets move on? Because they need a, catcher, obviously, in that department, yeah.
100%. I'm lockstep with you. It's Francisco Alvarez for me because we've heard that he's supposed to be this power hitting beast of a catcher, and we haven't seen it consistently. Mark Vientos, like I will be bummed if Mark Vientos doesn't kind of recapture some of that 2024 magic, but if he doesn't, Brett Beatty's taking all of his at-bats. So it'd be a wash. You know what I mean? Like we'll just replace the two and we'll see what happens. Like Francisco Alvarez, I think like it's time. It is time. Yeah. Your health, knock on wood, you're healthy. You got to come up and do what you did in your rookie year and just start mashing. Call a good game like you've been doing. I got no problem with his defense. Throws guys out. Awesome. But I don't want to be having conversations during the year of like, oh man, who should be starting, Luis Torrens or Francisco Alvarez? Like he's got to step up this year.
I agree. The only good thing, there's a lot of positives in his corner, but the fact that he's 24 years old,
he's a kid.
He's one of the youngest catchers and not the youngest catcher in baseball. So like that gives him a lot more leeway to be able to figure it out. It's kind of like tight ends in football. Tight ends need a couple of, like, obviously if you're not Brock Bowers or McBride, like certain tight ends need time to be able to develop and be able to understand what their role and responsibilities are and their skill level, right? Depending on the team. That's a position like catcher. It takes you time to be able to figure it out. Buster Posies are not walking through the door anymore.
Agreed.
Bowers are not walking through the door anymore. It's more of a project that you have to kind of build a archetype for a catcher now. Like you want to make sure that his defense is sound. You want to make sure that he's calling the game a good way. And then the other parts of his game can be able to come into play. So I think that's what we're seeing is that although he's had these hand injuries, he's actually been very good still defensively. And that's what I love to see, that the confidence hasn't dropped off the table defensively for him, which means that he's poised to have a good offensive season. That's how I'm looking at it.
I agree.
We have a question here from Murph 6174. Who is more likely to have a bounce back season, Marcus Semien or Sean Manaea? I am not even putting Marcus Semien in this just because he wasn't a Met last year. He won a Gold Glove with the Texas Rangers. He did have a down offensive season, but it's Sean Manaea. Like Sean Manaea still got fucking bodies floating around on his damn elbow, and he still hasn't gotten the surgery. So if he doesn't show up, Mars for him too. And I don't even know if Mars would take him at that point because he's getting paid $25 million. He already flushed out 1 year. If you flush out another year, there's no way that he there's no way that he lasts on this team next year. They will find a way to be able to get him off this team, buy his ass off, or pay off more than the majority of his contract and have him go somewhere else, because there's no way that you can be a $75 million bust after having that type of season that you had in 2024. So he has a lot more to prove than Marcus Semien. To me, Marcus Semien just got here. He's a great defensive player. Even if he's not a guy that hits 25 or 30 home runs, you always know that you can be able to rely on that glove. And that's what you need up the middle to be able to stop runs in this game. So it's definitely more Sean Manaea for me. Absolutely.
Yeah, I agree. And I obviously every Mets fan, but I want him to have that bounce back year just because of the character he is in the clubhouse, and you want him to be feeling good. Even for the Mets fans, I hate honestly how kind of people kind of turned on him last year, but I mean he didn't play well, so what do you expect? And this is New York.
Yeah.
But but I agree. I think Marcus Semien, we'll see what happens with him. It's not necessarily needs to be anything special because we have a lot of other players to fill that hole. But I think he could potentially have, 30 home run plus, a year again, just being in a different atmosphere and go off. But yeah, Sean Manaea is, I agree with having a bounce back year.
I would, if it's who I think would be more likely to bounce back. I agree. I want to say Sean Manaea. I really want to say Sean Manaea. I'm just a little worried that because he hasn't had his elbow cleared up, I just don't know how much that's going to hamper him. He really had a hard time staying healthy last year. I feel like anybody that gets MVP considerations at any point in their career makes me tend to say I think Marcus Semien's more likely to have a bounce back year than Sean Manaea is. And a lot of guys in Texas did not hit it home, so I'm not going to fault Marcus Semien for that. And as far as Sean Manaea goes, I could totally see the guy being. If he can't handle the rotation and can't go deep into games, I could see him in the bullpen.
Put him in the bullpen or have him piggyback.
True, yeah, just have him and Clay. I always forget that Clay Holmes is still on this team. Yeah, it'll be the law firm of Manaea and Holmes.
Right,
that'll be one of your days.
Right. Yeah. So yeah, I definitely agree with you in regards to just playing to the back of somebody's baseball card. Marcus Semien has definitely the bigger likely chance of bouncing back, but who I want to see or who I feel needs to have it, it's definitely Sean Manaea. Speaking of Semien, anyone else getting a vibe that he could have a JD Martinez? Absolutely. I tend to watch Bo Bichette's press conference when he was talking about Marcus Semien back when Marcus Semien was on the Blue Jays. The passion that kid talked about him with, that is a respect that will always be there. There's so many people in this game that respect Marcus Semien on such a different level that him just being in your clubhouse makes a difference. It's just like JD Martinez. When JD Martinez came in the clubhouse last year, everybody was just like, okay, we have somebody who we can really use as an extra hitting coach, somebody who can be able to breathe that confidence into guys who are struggling, or just kind of loosen up the clubhouse and make people realize that it's not that big of a deal to have a struggle, right? Marcus Semien is that type of impact. He's always a guy, every team he's ever been on, people always say positive things about him. And that's not going to go away just because he's older now and the production may not be there. The impact of his presence and his voice is there. So, yeah, I do believe that he can definitely have a JD Martinez type of impact. Absolutely.
Agreed. 100%. Lockstep with you.
Yeah. Let's see. Kim has a question here. Does the team respond better to being doubted or being expected to win?
Oh, that's an easy question.
It is. That's an easy one.
That's the easiest one of the night.
The amazing, the Mets in their history, we are never good when we're expected to win. Nope. We're only good when they expect us to be nothing. And that's why I love this season. They expect us to be nothing. Yeah. And we're going to go ahead and shock the world again. So, yes, the answer is it's always when our expectations are in the toilet that they go ahead and exceed expectations because it's easy to do so.
Give me none. I want no expectations ever. Even none. Zero.
Right. Even when we make moves like the Dodgers, just say that we suck.
Keep dumping on us. Yeah, keep dumping on us. LOL Mets. I'll hear it all. LOL Mets. Because that's when things happen.
I need Michael K to continue to dump on the Mets. Just keep making fun of them. Keith McPherson, go ahead and go talk about people's bags are not the Mets bag and they brought their Yankee bag. Just keep talking about us in a negative way because we feed off of that. We are like a Spider-Man symbiote. We feed off of the negativity. Continue to do it because we're gonna go ahead and produce. I love that. I love that.
Speaking of that, the bag situation, if I was any of the other players and I saw that was an issue, if I had played on another team at one point, I would show up to spring training the next day. Like Lindor should come in a Cleveland bag.
It should come in.
Soto should come in like a Nationals bag or something like that. Like
he should do a bag every other day. Like his bag, his Nationals bag, his Padres bag. Just go ahead and just lean into it.
If they didn't sell it or throw it away.
Yeah.
That'd be so funny.
The things that these people go ahead and talk about, it's just like you already know it's so slow in the sports media that you really are like wasting valuable mic time to talk about somebody's bag. Really?
Yeah, it's crazy.
Like he's getting the camp, which means that his bag is waiting for him in the locker room because he didn't get it shipped to him. That's the way it works. When you get to spring training, you get all your gear. That's just the way it goes. But
I call those stories football fatigue. Like once football ends, they're just looking for anything to grab onto to just get some clicks online.
Listen, like I said, I'm going to go ahead and be positive. I'm not going to say anything bad about anybody on the show. I would love to do it. I will wait until tomorrow to kick a guy like Keith McPherson's back in. Moving on. What we are going to go ahead and talk about now, before we go ahead and talk about some general baseball stuff, let's just get the elephant out of the room, shall we? Darryl Strawberry said something, and he was just like, I'm paraphrasing at this point, but he was just like, listen, I think Pete is going to regret not finishing his career as a Met. I regretted not finishing my career as a Met. You can be able to go ahead and get all these singular accolades somewhere else, but winning in New York and being that guy in New York is a lot more important, a lot more prevalent than just chasing something, right? Here's my issue. Not necessarily with Darryl Strawberry's point, because I understand that he was trying to personalize it to himself, right? Not necessarily exposing Pete for his choice, just more about, hey, listen, I regret leaving. I could have stayed here, but I regret leaving. And I do believe a guy of his caliber regrets leaving as well. But my biggest issue is that Pete bet on himself. He got his money. That's what he wanted. And he got it, right? We have to remember that the Mets offered Pete Alonso a very lucrative contract a few years back before David Stearns got here that he turned down. That's what actually sparked the trade rumors for Pete Alonso, because he didn't want to take that deal that Billy Epler offered, right? So we're talking about a guy who's always thought that he was bigger than the Mets. This is what I've heard. I've heard big ego issues from Pete Alonso from many Met sources, that he's not a bad guy, but the ego was very, very, very distracting for a lot of people. And he chose to take the money and go. That's fine. I don't see a problem with that. If you want to go ahead and go chase the bag, chase the bag. Here's my issue. It's Met fans that at this point, we have talked about all of this positive stuff in Mets camp, right? We talked about the young people, the young guys producing, position battles, guys that are actually playing new positions. They're trying to figure things out. Oh, the potential of Mike Tauchman being a bench guy, Simeon's impact, Juan Soto being the leader, all of these positive things. But yet you still have some of the fan base talking about Pete Alonso. I am here to now say this. I'm going to look directly into this camera. You people need to get over this shit, because at the end of the day, we said this on the show numerous times. You are a fan of the logo. You are not a fan of the names on the back, because names on the back of jerseys will always change. You are a fan of the Mets. And if you are going to go ahead and try to, keep bashing and trashing the Mets because Pete Alonso is not here, let me give you some factuals, right? Pete Alonso was a great home run hitter. That's it. That's all I'm going to give you. Pete Alonso wasn't a great defender. Pete Alonso, like Brandon Nimmo, like Jeff McNeil before him, like all of these other players were here, and you got good vibes from them, and we lost a lot. When we have had players in the past and we've lost, guess what happens to those players? They all get out the door at some point. Carlos Beltran is going into the Hall of Fame as a Met. When he got signed here, we had big aspirations, big expectations, and we got very close. And then we didn't. And then you know what happened to Carlos Beltran? We shipped his ass off to San Francisco. That's what happens, is that when things are over, it's over. You move on. I don't need to have a Pete watch. I don't give a shit what Pete does in Baltimore, respectfully. I hope he hits 50 home runs. I hope he eliminates the Yankees from playoff contention. I hope all of those things. But when you talk about Mets baseball, I don't need to hear about Pete Alonso anymore. I went ahead and had my rant when they went ahead and didn't offer him the contract. I understand it now why they didn't do it. I had my rant for a good day or two. It's over. Get over it, Met fans, and support the team that's in front of you, because you got some damn good players in front of you. You got some damn good young prospects that are out there that are trying to make the team and that are trying to make careers for themselves. When one Pete Alonso gets out the door, you have a Carson Benge, you have a Jonah Tong, you have a McLean. You have so many different players that you can support. Get over it. It's over.
Man, I wholeheartedly agree with you. I do have to say though, I understand early on. I understood the being upset. I understand missing out on missing Pete Alonso. I get the frustration, and it's because us Met fans, we don't have a lot of homegrown guys that we can really write home about and really hold on to and really say these are our guys and these guys are great and they're us. They're part of our system. The guys that we're relying on are guys that a lot of people, for some reason, think are making way too much money, and they're coming from outside of the organization, so people don't feel as attached to them as they felt to a Pete, to a Nimmo, to a David Wright, to people did Wright a little bit when Jose got traded or didn't get signed. Like DeGrom. it's the homegrown guys that really people really gravitate to, and I understand. I really need people, like you said, they need to just grow up and understand Pete Alonso is not walking through the door again. And as much as I did love seeing Pete hit home runs in Citi Field, I loved the
LFGM.
Whoa, my dyslexia kicked in. I loved the LFGM. I loved all that stuff. But look, they didn't win enough games. And I'm not telling you that it's all Pete Alonso's fault. I understand the dude put up numbers. The dude led the league in doubles last year, I believe, hit a lot of home runs. Totally understand. But it doesn't matter. They did not win with him. He's not here. You're a Mets fan. Root for the Mets. I don't care if you think Francisco Lindor makes too much money. Go think about that home run he hit against the Phillies in the playoffs. Go think about that home run he hit in Atlanta to send him to the playoffs.
Go think about that 2-month run that he went on to be able to keep us afloat in 2020.
Love Francisco Lindor. All of the people that hate Francisco Lindor, I want to wring your goddamn necks.
Yeah.
Because for all of those years that Pete Alonso put up those numbers, how many times was he a finalist for an MVP?
Exactly.
None of them. Francisco Lindor came here, became the captain of this team, even though we're never going to get a captain.
Yeah.
Became the captain of this team, became the catalyst of this team, and people disrespect the hell out of him year in, year out. It's disgusting. Juan Soto's here, is a way better baseball player than Pete Alonso is. I don't care. I book it. Juan Soto will play a better left field than Pete Alonso ever played first base.
Yeah.
I'm telling you here. And the dude's going to mash, and the dude's going to steal, and he's just going to be an all-around better baseball player. I do not understand why we can't gravitate to him. If you need homegrown guys, like Barry said, get excited for Carson Benge. Get excited for Nolan McLean. But stop with this whole, if you want to love Pete, go be an Orioles fan.
That's it.
Go to Baltimore. And guess what? Good luck there, too. You'll probably be just as miserable as you were here. Because what do the Orioles win? Nothing. Yeah. They're the only guys that wanted to give Pete Alonso 5 years and all of that money. And guess what? The Orioles rarely make good decisions.
Right.
I'm done. I'm off my soapbox.
I would agree with everything because obviously in the moment when everything was kind of going, like Nimmo's gone and then Diaz and Alonso, that was just a hard pill to swallow. But like you go through like the stages of grief and then you get over it. Like the second that I seen, you know, Pete Alonso step into spring training, the Orioles spring training, I'm like, okay, cool. Like I don't even care anymore. And like even if he goes and wins, say he wins an MVP, like okay, cool. Like I'm not gonna feel no type of way. Like oh, like we should have kept him.
Right.
I wish nothing but the best for him. And I'm sure he's gonna hit a lot of home runs there. But looking back at it, he wasn't like a team changer. Like he was here for those 7 years, and they had some really good players. And again, the whole thing is that they never went anywhere. So if you build your team around a Pete Alonso, it's just like we got nothing out of those years. So it's kind of good that you know David Stern's like these are the decisions I'm going to make. You know, it's going to be hard for the fans to you know take this, but we got to move on. And Steve Cohen was all in on that, which you know he's been vocal about, and you know I'm all on board with that.
Yeah,
Agreed.
That's all. Let me tell you something. The guy that I cry over as a kid, Mike Piazza, right? I love Mike Piazza. That guy got us to a World Series. Clemens threw a bat at him. I didn't like it. Still don't like it, right? That guy ended up going to damn San Diego and then going to the A's. He didn't retire a Met, okay? He didn't retire in a Mets outfit or a uniform. That's my whole point.
So, yeah, but I think he's a little
one of us. He was one of us.
He's a little different because he's not a like. To me, he's a homegrown Met because like when I started being able to formulate memories, I only know Piazza as a Met.
Yeah.
I don't remember when he played for the Dodgers and all that stuff.
That's like he's always going to be homegrown to me, Tom. You know why? Because he got us to the World Series.
True.
You know why DeGrom and all those guys have an affinity in my heart is because I saw him in a damn World Series. I didn't see Pete Alonso in the World Series. I saw David Wright in the World Series. I saw David Wright with a bad back hit a home run at Citi Field. I saw that. Okay, so you want to go ahead and lament over somebody who's no longer playing baseball? It should be David Wright.
Oh, honest to God, honestly, I was more heartbroken seeing Jacob deGrom pitch in Texas than Pete Alonso taking at bat, hit 2 home runs in Baltimore. That still hurts me.
To this day, I see Jacob deGrom, I'm hurt because I'm like, man, I miss him. I'm
low key hoping that the Rangers suck and they need to deal him at the deadline. Right, that's what I'm hoping for.
You know what? I'd like to go back.
I would the joy that we would get on this podcast if trade deadline day comes and it's not Tariq Skubal and it's DeGrom coming home. I might be in joyful tears the entire time.
Yeah, I agree.
Like I will be. It's not happening. I totally understand that.
Never say never.
It's
okay?
not happening.
Never say never.
I will never. Yeah, no. Everything. Life is wrestling. Never say never. But
but that's my thing. Listen, I love Met fans, but we can be very toxic, and we can be very very self appreciate. Just please be happy with what's going on. David Stearns did a lot. We all doubted him going into the offseason. The man literally gave us a brand new team in a few months. That's impressive.
I feel like I'm taking crazy pills because like I hear everybody in the stadium singing My Girl and Francisco Lindor being the king of the New York Mets. Yeah. And then Pete Alonso leaves and everybody just turns on him. Like I'm like Lindor watch baseball? You watch games? Like do you understand? Like I get it. Pete Alonso had some flashy home runs, but Francisco Lindor is the man. Like he does everything.
Listen, I think what has he had? Like the 4th highest WAR since he's gotten to the Mets?
Yeah, look, I'll give you that first he's freaking Carlos Beltran 2.0. That first year was super underwhelming. He got off to a slow start in the second year, but I mean, the dude puts up numbers and is a lights out defender. Like I fundamentally do. I understand the money's a lot, but it's not yours. Any of you Mets fans that are bitching about money, it ain't coming out of your bank account. You know what I mean? Like,
listen, Pete is good.
Crazy.
When you look at the numbers at the end of the season, it's great. But when he's going through those slumps, oh boy, is it bad.
Throw him a slider away.
That's what I'm saying. So please, Met fans, like I said, we are gonna be here as as positive hosts to be able to push the narrative forward of let's go ahead and just breathe positivity into this team. This is the last time we are going to mention Pete Alonso. Unless he's at Citi Field playing against the Mets, we'll go ahead and have those conversations. But outside of that, I am done. The only person I don't even have no smoke for him, right? There's no smoke that I got.
Yeah, no.
The only person that I got smoke for is Edwin Diaz. I got plenty of smoke for your ass. Because when you come here, like I said, they better have the video package ready of every time Diaz gives up a home run in the 9th inning. That's what I want to see. I don't want to see no damn tribute video. You don't deserve it. No. You don't deserve it.
Yeah.
I'm emotional. He does.
He's gonna get it. I want to say I want to agree with you so bad. I want to agree with you so bad, but like he was so goddamn good.
He was, but he left us. Okay,
he did. He ring chased and left us.
He's like the guy with the family, and he ends up leaving his family and starting a new family. That's exactly what he did. Those kids are always gonna hate you. Okay, always gonna hate you. I got a step brother where in Ohio. I live in what is happening here? You talk about you still love us. You don't love us at all. You don't love us at all. You left us for another family. You're happy now. I don't like it. I agree. What do we feel?
Do we have to retire LFGM, by the way?
Huh?
Do we have to retire LFGM?
Absolutely, and burn it.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Cool.
Retire it and burn it. Retire it and burn it. Well, how do we feel about the ABS system? Thoughts?
I think we had a discussion on even before that. I'm personally just not a fan of that.
Yeah.
Just because I think when I mentioned too is depending, your time in the league, like you may get calls and then rookies might not get the same call, just because of having that, like professional, like rhetoric, I guess, like people, like umpires know you and what you've done for the game and whatnot. And even too, like, I don't really necessarily agree, like, if any part of the ball ticks the box and it's a ball or a strike. I think, like, a percentage of the ball has to be in the zone, out of the zone to make that decision. Just because a little, like, hair of the ball touched it, then, that's how the call is made. And too, like, it's just the human element is just kind of lessening. Like, why would you want that when it's, it's a game? Like, why are we bringing so many like robotic features, whatever, into a sports game? Keep that human element of these umpires in there and whatnot. So
I would in a years prior, I probably would have agreed with you, and like I loved the human element of the game, but like seeing how replay has gotten like calls right, like we get most of it, if not all the calls right, is great. Like that makes me happy because like just I've seen some of these umpires be really bad, like really, really bad. And I don't know, like, because you only get a couple of challenges, assuming that you get them right, assuming you don't get them wrong. I mean, so like, I don't know how much it's actually going to affect the game going forward. I personally am starting to lean more on the side of, look, we got the technology, just get the call right. I also like, I put it in our little notes when I sent them to you, Barry. Like, I'm really interested to see people explode if that is what ends a World Series, an ABS challenge. That would just be insane. Like, people's heads would explode.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I want to see how it affects like regular, like when games matter, like when we start getting to the regular season and like we're starting to like really hope for these wins. I want to see how much it actually affects, because like we could be totally wrong and it just has no effect because these guys, like, sure, they think it's a strike or a ball, but they have no freaking idea. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, look, for me, I'm okay with it. I want them to kind of iron out the fine details. They're not going to get it right this year because it's going to be the first year that they're really exploring in the bigs. So there's a lot, because the thing is with me is that you get 2 challenges, but if you get them right, then you keep the 2. That to me is weird because it's like, okay, well, if you keep getting it right, then you never run out of challenges. Like, there should just be a limit, whether you get it right or wrong. You only get 2 or you get 3. Like, you shouldn't have the ability to continue to go to it. I believe that how it should be, that once you blow your challenges, or even if it gets to the 8th inning or 9th inning and it's a very, very close call, it automatically goes to the ABS in some particular at bats, just to be able to make sure that, just like football, right? Like the final 2 minutes of the game, everything is replayed. You know, touchdowns are reviewed and all this other stuff. I think you can be able to put that in. So they're going to continue to tweak things until they get it right. So this year is going to be very clunky, but they'll go ahead and iron things out. Maybe even start to iron things out as it goes along in the year. But that's what I want to see them kind of change a little bit and adjust and make sure that they get it right. Just have 2 challenges, whether you get it right or wrong, they're gone. And that's it. So that's why you have to make sure that you call them at a very, very important time instead of just calling it to call it. You know what I'm saying? That's what I want to see.
I also, I want to see how much it actually, like how many people actually challenge and what the success rates are during the.
Yeah,
during the
I know Soto is probably going to have 100% a success
rate.
rate.
Success rate? Yeah, I could totally see
it. Is ridiculous when it comes to strike zone.
Yeah, I think in spring training we're going to see it a lot, just so people can get used to it. Like I don't know, like because I think Luis Torrens, I feel like, was challenging like every, I think 2 days ago. So, I'm interested. I'm not like totally sold on it. I'm interested to see how it'll make things better, because I'm just like so sick and tired of some of these umps being freaking terrible. You know what I mean?
It's true. Like they went from being like pretty bad to it's so bad the other way that you want something different.
Yeah.
They were so egregious last season that everybody's like, yeah, bring in the bots. Bring in the bots, because they're so bad. So hopefully you can be able to have a nice relationship where umps are better because they feel that they have to be now. Like there's some system that will course correct them. So maybe these guys are actually going to take their jobs a little bit more seriously in regards to focusing on exactly what the hell your strike zone is. Here's the thing about fans. Whatever your strike zone is, we don't care. Just make sure that the strike zone is consistent for both teams and every single batter. That's what we care about. If you're going to call a high strike, call the high strike for everybody else. That's what we want. You can't have a variable strike zone depending on what batter is there. That's what we hate. So if you're gonna have a wide strike zone, have it for everybody. And that's my biggest issue with these umps.
Right there with you.
Yeah.
Right there.
Any other business that we gotta handle, or are we at final thoughts?
I'm tapped out. I think we covered everything.
What about you, Silas? What do you think?
Yeah, I agree. Everything was covered up to this point. So we'll see how obviously spring training continues, and obviously the World Baseball Classic is coming up soon as well. So that's gonna be interesting to see. I'm excited. I'm excited to check that out.
Yeah. I mean, the Baseball Classic is always good, right? World Baseball Classic is always really, really.
I'm so torn on it. I love it and hate it all.
It's good. It's just. Me and Nicole talked about it, that I think that it would be better for them to move it rather than start the season to somewhere in the. I don't know.
You want to do what hockey did with the Olympics and have like a 2 or 3 week break?
Maybe.
Oh, that'd be so.
I don't know what the solution is. I don't think that there's a proper solution for this.
Yeah,
there really isn't.
Yeah, I know. I guess
outside of having it after the season and literally having it in the winter in some tropical place, that's the only way that you.
Yeah, but then you're competing with the NFL. No one's gonna watch it,
and that's what I'm saying. Like you'll still have people watching it, but it may not get the viewership.
Well, think about it. It's all that's on. I mean, like once the WBC starts, that's all that's on. Like we're still in the middle of basketball season. It's the middle of hockey season.
Yeah,
it's all that's on.
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough for people that want to see a move. It's just one of those things where, hey, listen, it's every 2 years. It is what it is.
Yeah.
Right? It is what it is. Yeah, I have nothing else outside of Met fans. If I hear any of y'all keep talking this Pete Alonso stuff, I listen. I am not like my cohorts here. I am not calm. I am not civil. I am not going to go ahead and go take the high road. I will go in the basement with you with the DVD. I am one of those people. I will search comments, and I'm very petty. I am one of those people that will go ahead and troll you. Do not bring up this Pete Alonso nonsense at my door, at my co-host door. We don't want to hear it. Okay. Nope. If we see if there's 30 errors at first base this year, we don't care. We don't care. Okay. Pete's not
here.
There
won't be.
All right. And it won't be. Okay. So that's all I'm saying. Next week, we'll be here again on Wednesday. We will have a guest. We will have a special guest. Tony Metro will be here. So pretty good. I am very excited because he's very, very. I love his takes on the Mets. I love his matter of factness. He's very, very direct, but he brings really, really great facts and opinions, and it's gonna be a great conversation. So looking forward to that. Until next week, stay safe, stay cool. Peace.